Hello, historical people. Wes here. As you can see, my little mate here now has a shield. So I'm going to talk about shields. Okay. One thing that I heard recently was, "Ooh, we don't do shield bashes." What the fuck? I don't know why. Obviously, if this was some newbie that doesn't have armor, I'm probably not going to start bashing them with a round shield. They are quite heavy, but you can 125,000% bash with the shield. In fact, I encourage you to do so. It's an incredibly useful element of the shield. Again, fair play if they're not wearing full armor, or maybe they've got some, I don't know, like a dodgy elbow or whatever, then maybe not. But I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of my stuff on shields before, but basically your sword is still your primary weapon, your primary offense and defense. It's not as easy as in a fucking RPG where you just go block, block, block. I wish it was. That'd make life so much easier. But basically what this is doing is it's an area denial device. Okay. I put this on my this side of my body. That side of my body can't get hit now. Okay. My head can still be, so I need to remember to block. Okay. Or I can lift. Right. But whatever. I'm not just holding block, pressing dodge, doing a roll and all that shit. Okay. The main thing with shields when you're fighting is they're so much more active than you probably give them credit for. I've just mentioned it's area denial, and they just sit here and block off a line. That's one way to use it, nice and easy way. But you do find it comes in play more, especially if your opponent's got a shield. Okay. Now this dummy's set up really awkwardly. No one's going to stand like that necessarily. But you can, I call it binding with a shield. Like you can use the shield to control and open up spaces on your opponent the same way you would use the sword to get the strong bind, fuck the sword off and attack. You can equally use the shield. Okay. For instance, my favorite thing with any dual wielding is the idea of swapping. So I've parried off this with my sword. I'm going to swap out, put the shield there, boom. Thankfully, the main cool thing about the round shields is because they're center grip, if I do extend that, I can also roll that. Okay, I can keep it close and roll it as well if I need to. So it's very easy to actually transition to other sides. But it just gives me, okay, that line of attack. I can attack for the hands, I can attack for the sword, whatever. And I can literally just fill in here behind. So I'm covering myself, closing them in. They're going, oh shit, he's on me, what do I do? And I've already hit him, okay? I don't really agree with the wishy-washy stuff that you see online. That doesn't make any sense to me, especially with the weight of them. Like those guys must have some serious fucking shoulders and traps, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, it makes more sense keeping it couched, sending it out as a parry, and then sending something else in, okay? Obviously, when the other person has got a shield, especially something like a kite, I can manipulate down here. So I can come in, bash that out of the way. Again, can't really say much here because whatever. You don't really want to give your shield away for the sake of their shield. Think about chess. Like, you don't really want to give away your queen. So I wouldn't really do that. Control, attack. Again, you want to focus whatever weapon set you've got. If you can focus on getting control, okay, then attacking, you'll be 10 times better off. You'll see a lot more success as opposed to just always trying to snipe before they come back. Valid tactic. Some people are amazing at that. I don't have that. So I'm not really going to do that. You know, I'm going to control and I'm going to set you up for disaster in theory. Okay. So shield side, you can assume as your safe side, but when you do that, you mostly get hit on that side. It's really frustrating. So just think, once this is in play, so if I come over here and my opponent, they've got virtually nothing other than a leg shot, maybe some weird, wonderful spirally bollocks headshot, they can't do a lot. So I've closed this line off completely, whereas this hand's totally free. So you still have your same inside-outside game. I don't know if I've really spoken about that before. But if I come on the inside, the shield fills the space, puts their weapon on my outside, so I've got free reign, okay? Obviously, they've still got a shield. They'll probably pull that up. If I can get my shield to their outside, so weapon side, he's coming there. I've parried, swapped my shield out, bang. There's virtually nothing he can do here. So that's how I'm sort of looking to play the shield game, okay? Most of the time, you will end up here. And yes, there's gaps down the sides of the shields, under the flaps of the shield, whatever you want to call them, and always over the top. So take the shape of the shield in mind. The more sort of curved it is like this, the more attack and, the more offensive it really is. The more surface it covers, the more defensive it is. Center grips you can do a lot more with, typically, because you have the ability to roll it, get some of your I-33 bollocks out there. Okay, you do have that ability. The shield can cover all sides a little more, a little easier, leaving you a bit more flexible. Whereas when you got these shields, you might be a little more tied down, but you won't be as tired afterwards, and they can be pretty brutal as well. My favourite thing with these kites, let me see if that's an easy one to pull off or not. Yeah, it should come off easy enough. Bear with me, technical difficulties. So, favourite thing to do with this is just cover the head as I'm attacking, because I've got all that distance, okay? All that sort of protection as well. Obviously, the more I sit up like that, my opponent's going to go, well, he's open over there, boom. Because, as much as we'd love to fight lemons, we don't. People are smart, they're going to figure you out. But yeah, there's a few cool things you can do with them, but the shield is definitely an active part of the combat. So when people say, no, you can't shield bash, or no, you can't whatever, it's like, unless there's a safety concern, then okay, maybe not. But in terms of actually in combat, do it. Why not? As long as you're not absolutely smashing people to bits, okay? Same as with like pommel strike rules and tournament. You present, okay? Maybe a little tap, but you're not smashing each other with blunt force objects. Same with the shield. Don't trounce anyone's collarbone. Don't go for a knockout shot. Don't be an idiot. But in terms of using it to control space, weapons, hands, arms, I don't really see a problem. Like, if you've got self-control problems, that is a you problem and it needs addressing separately. It's not the shield's fault, okay? So if your students are smashing each other with shields, fair enough, take them off them until they can be good boys again, or whatever. But, if your students can control themselves emotionally, physically, or at least one of the two, then they should be fine. Shield bash. Why not? Okay. Don't be unsafe, though. Don't be idiots. And don't blame me if you are. Right. Nice one. Cheers. See you in a bit.